Taiwan presidential frontrunner says he can keep peace with China. July the 4th of May have set a record as Earth's hottest day. China cancels plans to receive Europe's top diplomat. UN to hold meeting on threats of artificial intelligence to global peace. New players can enter Korea banking sector for first time in 30 years. Philippines accuses China of more harassment near disputed Reef. Singer-songwriter Coco Lee dies at 48 after suicide attempt. Japan Airlines will rent out clothes for you to travel baggage-free.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Thursday, July 6th, and here are your top stories. Leading Taiwanese presidential candidate William Lai wrote in the Wall Street Journal on Wednesday that he could keep the peace with China if elected, reiterating his willingness for talks without preconditions and a pledge to boost defenses. Lai said, "I will never rule out of the possibility of dialogue without preconditions, based on the principles of reciprocity and dignity." According to diplomatic sources, Lai is expected to visit the United States next month, as presidential candidates traditionally do, to discuss their policy agenda.
But his stance on independence, possibly even more hardline than current President Tsai Ing-wen's.
Lai, Taiwan's vice president and the candidate for the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, has consistently led the majority of opinion polls ahead of the January election. President Tsai Ing-wen cannot run again after 2 terms in office. In a commentary piece, Lai said that despite the military and economic challenges from China, including China's almost daily aerial incursions near Taiwan, his top priorities remained pragmatism and consistency.
Scientists said Wednesday, based on a preliminary and unofficial data, that Tuesday, July 4th, was Earth's hottest day on record. It broke a mark set the day before, and it comes as scientists say the planet is the hottest it has been in roughly 125,000 years. Experts believe more heat records will fall this summer. According to the University of Maine's Climate Reanalyzer, a tool based on satellite data and computer simulations, Earth's average temperature rose to 62.9 degrees Fahrenheit on Tuesday.
For half of the world, summer just started, and it's already breaking records.
That's the highest temperature for that data set since records began in 1979. Scientists said the unusual warmth is the result of a combination of human-caused climate change, the strengthening El Niño in the start of summer in the Northern Hemisphere. Berkeley Earth's Robert Rode wrote on Tuesday on Twitter the daily heat record probably will be broken again, perhaps as early as Wednesday. We may well see a few even warmer days over the next 6 weeks.
China has canceled a trip by European Union Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Burrell scheduled for next week. An EU spokesperson said on Tuesday that no reason was given for the cancellation. EU spokesperson Nabila Mousrali told Reuters in a written statement on Tuesday that unfortunately we were informed by the Chinese counterpart that the envisaged date next week are no longer possible and we must now look for alternatives. The Chinese foreign minister did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
都应当旗帜鲜明地根据当事国的需要和愿望劝和促谈。
The EU's ambassador to China Jorge Toledo said on Sunday Burrell was due to visit Beijing on July 10th to meet his Chinese counterpart and discuss strategic issues, including human rights and Russia's war in Ukraine. Toledo had told the World Peace Forum in Beijing on Sunday that China and Europe are likely to hold 2 in-person dialogues in September, one on the economy and trade and another on digital matters, before a leaders' summit at the end of the year.
The UN Security Council will hold a first-ever meeting on the potential threat of artificial intelligence to international peace and security. Organized by the United Kingdom, which sees tremendous potential, but also major risks about AI's possible use, for example in autonomous weapons or in control of nuclear weapons. UK Ambassador to the United Nations Barbara Woodward on Monday announced that the July 18th meeting is the centerpiece of its presidency of the Council this month.
To managing both the huge opportunities and the risks that artificial intelligence holds for all of us
It will include briefings by international AI experts and Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who last month called the alarm bells over the most advanced form of AI, deafening, and loudest from its developers. Guterres announced plans to appoint an advisory board on artificial intelligence in September to prepare initiatives that the UN can take. Woodward said the benefits side is huge, citing AI's potential to help UN development programs, improve humanitarian aid operations, assist peacekeeping operations and support conflict prevention, including by collecting and analyzing data.
Struck 它是 strike 这动词的过去式 ，strike a deal 就是
学习，享受一个人的美好时光。Funday 英语。
South Korea will allow new domestic players to enter its banking industry for the first time in 30 years. Korea's Financial Service Commission said in a statement on Wednesday, Daegu Bank, a regional bank unit of DGB Financial Group, may become the first firm to take advantage of the expanded rules, with an intention to transform into a nationwide bank. The move is seen as paving the way for competition that would help lower interest rates costs for consumers.
The government's move comes after President Yoon Suk-yeol earlier this year criticized banks for having what it called a money feast. In other words, booking easy profits from the gap between interest rates on deposits and those on loans, while paying their executives big bonuses as borrowers struggled to pay high interest rates. The top 5 Korean banks, Kookmin Bank, Shinhan Bank, Keb Hana Bank, Woori Bank and Nong Hyup Bank, posted a combined $9.76 billion in net income last year, surging about 18% from the prior year.
The Philippines on Wednesday accused China's coast guards of harassment, obstruction, and dangerous maneuver against its vessels, after another incident near a strategic feature of the South China Sea that has become a flashpoint between them. Philippines Coast Guard spokesperson Jay Tarala said in a tweet that Philippines Coast Guard boats were assisting a naval operation on June 30th, when they were constantly followed, harassed, and obstructed by the significantly larger Chinese Coast Guard vessels.
Reuters reported it took place near the Second Thomas Shoal, a submerged reef over which the Philippines stakes a claim to sovereignty via a handful of troops who live aboard a ship that was intentionally grounded in 1999. China claims sovereignty over almost the entire South China Sea via 9-line on its maps that cuts into the exclusive economic zones of Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei and Indonesia. The Permanent Court of Arbitration in 2016 said that line has no basis under international law.
Hong Kong-born American singer Coco Lee died at 48 on Wednesday, following a suicide attempt that left her in a coma. Her 2 sisters said in a statement posted on Instagram and Facebook, Lee died in Queen Mary Hospital in Hong Kong, where she had been living. The statement said on July 2nd, she committed suicide at home and was sent to the hospital. Despite the best efforts of the hospital team to rescue and treat her from her coma, she finally passed away on July 5th, 2023.
Lee's career spanned around 30 years. Among her most notable performances were voicing the female warrior Mulan in the Mandarin language version of Disney's Mulan, and performing the Oscar-nominated song, A Love Before Time, from the film Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She was born in Hong Kong in 1975 and was the youngest of 3 children of a Hong Kong Cantonese mother and Indonesian father. Her mother moved Lee and her sisters to the United States when she was 9.
Tourists and business travelers to Japan will soon be able to show up with a little more than the clothes they're wearing, thanks to an initiative by Japan Airlines and Sumitomo to offer rental clothing during visits to the island nation. Describing the initiative as a bid to promote sustainable tourism while offering convenience, The airline said visitors will be able to select apparel based on size and seasonal needs via a website prior to boarding a Japan Airlines-operated flight. The service will run on a trial base through August 2024.
The rentable apparel will be sourced from clothing product overstock, helping to minimize waste. One set of clothing will cost 4,000 yen to 7,000 yen, $28 to $49, and people will be able to rent up to 8 outfits for as long as 2 weeks, in 3 sizes: small, medium and large. Chosen styles, smart, smart casual and mixed, will be delivered to a traveler's designated hotel. Trading house Sumitomo developed the online reservation system, as well as the procurement, laundry and delivery of clothes.
Now let's delve into the news of Japan Airline renting out clothes for you to travel baggage-free. Number 1, initiative, 倡议新方案. Government initiatives to help young people have been inadequate. Number 2, sustainable, 不破坏生态平衡的，合理利用的. Try to buy wood that you know has come from a sustainable source. Number 3, apparel, 衣服服装. Some functional products, such as apparel and electric devices, cannot be tried or tested online. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below now to join Funday for free. I'm Wade Lee, your host. I'll see you next time.